You're listening to the Knowledge for Tomorrow podcast. Here we discuss topics that will enhance your life and help create a better you in the world tomorrow. So stay tuned for important, vital information about health, the Bible, current events, history, as well as some lighthearted fun. Well, greetings everyone, and welcome to the Knowledge for Tomorrow podcast. I have a question for you to think about as we start today's show. What would you do if someone gave you a gift of 9 full extra days per year that you could spend however you please doing whatever you wanted to do? We'll revisit this question later in the program, but for now, here's an interesting story for you I heard this week. Earlier this week in California, Facebook, Instagram, and a few other social media sites went down for about an hour. Now, the cause of the problem was actually an internal glitch on Facebook's end. For most rational thinking people, this seems like a reasonable thing that sometimes happens with computers and technology. We've all experienced that stuff before. However, for some people, you would think the world was coming to an end because in their panic state, they called 911. Now, I'm being serious. People are actually so attached to Facebook, it seems like they don't know how to function in life without it. Now, the 911 dispatcher who was taking some of the calls said people actually called to ask when Facebook was going to be back online, responding, "We have nothing to do with Facebook here, and when Facebook isn't working, it's not an emergency." To which one caller actually accused the dispatcher of being rude because the dispatcher said it wasn't a life-threatening emergency, so I guess they thought it did. So, what does that tell you? Now, I tell you this story is a baseline for a theory I've been thinking about recently, and I think this story might actually be the proof that I'm looking for to prove that I'm right. See what you think. You always hear people talking about the zombie apocalypse and what we need to do in preparation for when it actually happens. After hearing about the Facebook idiots in California, I'm beginning to think we're living in the zombie apocalypse right now. Think about it. People are no longer thinking for themselves, but blindly depending totally on machines to determine their quality of life. Let's take a look at the definition of what a zombie is according to the Oxford Dictionary. A zombie is a person or reanimated corpse that has been turned into a creature capable of movement, but not of rational thought. Isn't that exactly what we're seeing in the world today? People taking up space and breathing, but not thinking rationally anymore. Now, I know some of you out there might be thinking right now, what can we do to prevent this? Well, the fact that you're actually thinking about this proves that there is hope for you. I admit the whole zombie concept is just an amusing thing to think about when we look at people, but really, this is no laughing matter. So the most important thing we need to talk about today is what we can do different to not become zombies in our minds, but actually take our lives back. Well, my first recommendation is to remove the Facebook app from your phones. Now, I'm sure some of you subconsciously are panicking right now at that thought. I'm sure you're feeling that little chill move down your spine at the thought of not knowing what your so-called friends are up to every second of the day. But before you instantly say, it's not that big of a deal, do you really know how much time you're wasting on Facebook every day? According to Bloomberg.com, the business website, the average American now spends about 40 minutes a day checking Facebook feeds on their smartphone. You know, that's about 1,120 minutes a month or 13,440 minutes a year. Do you realize that equates to over 9 full 24-hour period days every single year wasted on Facebook alone? This doesn't even include Twitter, Instagram, or any other social media. How does that fact make you feel? Well, it should make us feel sick to our stomach knowing that we're wasting so much time on something so meaningless as a society. Now, I want you to take a second to think about how many books you could actually read in a year with that much time, or how many walks, how many activities, or inspiring things you could do with your family. What about pursuing that college degree you've always talked about, or finishing that project you've been wanting to work on for so long? What about work? With that much extra time dedicated to actually working, instead of checking Facebook, you might actually get that promotion or raise you've been wanting. Or more importantly, you could actually attend most of your children's school activities since you'll be so far ahead at work. I guarantee it'll mean the world to them. But then again, there is the other side. You could simply continue on just as you are right now, not getting ahead at work, not spending time with your family, not growing intellectually, but I'm pretty sure by clicking the like button on the silly photo posted by one of your old second grade classmates, I'm sure it'll really mean a lot to them. So I'll close today's program by asking you the same question I started with. What would you do if someone gave you a gift of 9 full extra days per year that you could spend however you pleased, doing whatever you wanted to do? I sincerely hope you'll take this information to heart and begin the process that will change your life for the better by finally starting to live it again. So until next time, let's take back our lives by creating a better tomorrow from the knowledge we learned today.